terrific night for football as he mile high in the capital city of Denver, Colorado. Pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set. Francisco 49ers. Brandon Gaunt and Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts. And here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
What up, Doorman Swag? What up, Doorman Swag?
The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And off we go to wrap up a busy weekend of football. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And how about Phillip Lindsay's rookie season? Began the year 3rd on the depth chart. Finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado with speed to burn.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. Third down here. And a look now at the defensive starters for San Francisco.
Dee Ford, a lightning-quick edge rusher, has made his way from Kansas City to San Francisco, and no one happier than interior defensive lineman DeForest Buckner. That should free him up for more one-on-ones inside, and Ford's speed off the edge will surely make quarterbacks get rid of the ball a whole lot quicker.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
To return is Taylor. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. So now here are the 49ers under third-year coach Kyle Shanahan. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're back up to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
Here we go. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. On their own side of the field, close to the 50, but their own. To get it done.
And it doesn't matter whether you're a zone blocking team, a man blocking team, gap blocking, whatever you want to call it. When it's in this situation, it's really man on a man, isn't it? Who's going to win the battle? And right there we saw it. At the point of attack, find enough yardage to pick up a first down. Give him credit for that one.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough. Swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Garoppolo to throw. It is intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
Let's go.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. Third down, Flacco from the gun. And that is incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. That opening drive ended with the INT. It did lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Garoppolo finding his tight end Kittle and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 27 yards there, a first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Check, 47. You can't block me.
They'll run on first down. Coleman, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Garoppolo gives to Breda. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback.
Here we go.
But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Well, meanwhile, a pass but it winds up falling incomplete.
But nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through and picking up first downs.
They go play action here on first down toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this 2nd quarter. And I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. George Kittle, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. The quick slant caught. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. From 6 yards away. As his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back. Tremendous poise. Confidence never lost. And Obviously, he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive, they've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
First and 10 here for Flacco. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Joe Flacco with a nice completion there, and Flacco, of course, with some good history against these 49ers back in his Baltimore days. Super Bowl 47 in the Superdome. Flacco threw for 287 yards, 3 touchdown passes, en route to being named Super Bowl MVP. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. This quick pass complete to Sutton. He's got the first down here inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Flacco. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there is nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
56 to Mike. 56.
To pass, Flacco. He's got this complete to Hamilton. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something that feels somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what's usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Now on 2nd and 16. Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Week 2 of the preseason just about in the books. Teams getting ready for their dress rehearsal next week in Week 3. These 49ers will be back home to take on Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, the Broncos will be on the road at Green Bay. In our game, the defenses look to be ready for the regular season. Maybe not the offenses just yet, but still a half to go. As we get you back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
Adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and... Back to throw. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now a man open down the middle of the field.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Here comes 60 Pittsburgh. Pilot 64. Reach. Cut. Now.
First throw now for the backup lock. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The kick by McManus is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he will return this one to the 30.